You are listening to The Huddle with Dave Wyman, Michael Bumpus, and Stacey Ross, joined now by rookie Cam Young. And Cam, wow, we want to know all about your season so far. I apologize because I do have to ask you about someone else to start your interview here. How dare I? But you guys got Leo in the building. Leonard Williams, now a Seahawk. How'd you feel with that trade? Have you met him yet?
Yes, man. I met him yesterday. He's a great guy. You know, I'm new to the league, but it's not often that you get a player of that caliber to come in. So it's just great to get a guy like that.
Man, you're Mississippi State, so I went to Washington State. Okay. So, you know, the Pirate Coach Leach was over there at Wazoo for a long time, kind of helped us do our thing. Yes, what was it like playing for him?
It's great. You know, Coach Leach is one of the guys that pioneered college football, in my opinion, with the air raid. So just having a guy like that, a legend, come in, is real big for the Mississippi State family. So rest in peace, Coach Leach.
How do you fit in down there? He's a different dude, you know?
Oh, yeah. He was way different. It took us a minute to get used to him, but like I say, he's a great guy. So he come from great morals and aspects, and it was easy to get behind him.
Yep.
Cam, when you got drafted, I remember talking to the scouts and Schneider and everything, and they said you're the hammer that they drafted. What have you had kind of that moment? Are you starting to, because that you have that reputation kind of in college? Right. Are you starting to feel like you're getting in groove, like you can take these guys on, kind of like you did with in college?
A little bit. You know, my first game was against the Lions. I got to go against Frank Ragnow, who's one of the premier centers in this league. So with that kind of being my first matchup, you know, I was able to kind of get my feet wet. So, you know, I'm starting to get there.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
How's it feel so far as just kind of like acclimating to the NFL as a whole, like just the culture of being here with guys? Do you feel like you're able to, this sounds weird, but do you feel like you're able to be yourself so far?
Most definitely. You know, I have great guys in the room, guys just mentoring me and showing me the ropes. We also pride ourselves on being yourself around here. You know, personality is big from the top to the bottom, so it's easy to be yourself.
Man, you play a position that most people don't realize the work you got to do, man. You're taking on double teams at time. Your job is to keep them guys behind you clean, right? Have you ever been a nose tackle, and what joy do you get out of it? Because, you know, you don't necessarily get the big plays often that these other guys get.
Not necessarily. You know, once Coach Leach came in, we converted to a 3-3-5, and that's when I started lining up more over the center. I'm typically a small guy compared to other nose guards. You know, nose guards that play that spot usually 350 plus. So me being 307 right now is kind of it's harder than, you know, what it may seem. But the joy I get is just, like you said, seeing guys fly around, guys like Jordan and Bobby, you know, making plays. Like that gives me energy.
Yep. I know as a linebacker, like I would always make sure to like give credit and point out things in film and everything. If a D lineman's taking on two guys or whatever, does Bobby and Jordan, do those guys communicate?
Oh, most definitely. Not only them, Coach Hurt, who was a former defensive lineman, you know, he makes sure that even the guys in the back end know that our job is very important to the defense.
Yeah. What's it been like working with some of the guys up here, like Jaron Reed? I mean, obviously we've seen him here before, but it's his first year back here.
Right.
Frank Clark is now back here. You kind of have a return to some of these guys. How have they been as leaders? Because when we first covered them, they were these young guys, right? They're your age.
Yeah, Jaron Reed has been great for me. You know, like I said, me being a smaller guy at the nose position, I was watching guys like Monet and Al, who's 350 plus. So I was trying to really manipulate what they was doing. But Jay Reed kind of stepped in and made the position his own. So I was able to kind of follow his footsteps, and it's been working for me.
Love that.
Man, I used to go down to Biloxi, Mississippi every summer. My dad lives down there, and I loved it. It was different. You know, I'm from California, so I go down. It's different, but I loved it. So with you going the opposite way, you know, down Mississippi, coming up to the Northwest, man, how's it been for you up here?
It's been great. The weather has been better than what I thought initially. Everybody told me it was going to be gloomy and rainy all the time. I think the rain just started to come in, so it's been great for me. Still haven't found no real good soul food spots, but I'm still looking. So that's the only thing I'm looking forward to right now, soul food.
You know what? Today on our show, later on, I'm going to solicit texters to see if they can give some soul food recommendations. We like to provide that service on that. Hey, so this is a random question. It was Halloween just on Tuesday. Do you remember? Did you dress up when you were a little kid and go trick or treating?
I did, but I stopped at a real young age.
Okay. Do you remember your favorite costume?
It was definitely when I dressed up as myself as a football player.
As a football player.
Yeah, I think I was in 4th grade, so
Okay.
that was probably my favorite costume.
I'm imagining a young Cam, like they open the door and they're like, cute costume. He's like, it's not a costume.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is my
it's me.
business
It's
attire.
me.
That's who I am.
Yeah.
This is just who I am. What's your flexibility on soul food? Like, how are you with like, is it just like, is Southern as a category? Because there's some Southern restaurants that kind of like have seafoody infusions, but like, are you like, I need classic soul food, tell me where to find it?
Fried chicken for sure.
Fried chicken for sure.
If they have good fried chicken, then they got me. So
I've heard some places.
Well, we got Texas already.
I
Legion
know.
in Bellevue. That's, with Cam and them. And then Southern Kitchen in Tacoma is what.
That's what I've heard of.
That's a little trip for you. So that's probably like an off-season deal or a day off. Or
Honestly,
whatnot.
have you had Ezel's? Ezel's is pretty good. There's a couple, it's a chain, so you can find a couple places.
yeah, I don't think I had them.
Okay,
So they used
that's
to
my
bring
recommendation.
chicken into when we were playing. Chuck Knox, our coach, this is back in the 80s, on Fridays we'd always have Ezel's chicken brought in. I've met Ezel a number of times. Great dude, awesome chicken. You'll love Ezel's.
I didn't know it was that
Fried
like
chicken.
that much of like
Yeah,
this.
he's been around for a
It's
long
like a staple.
time.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
You been out? You been out on the water yet?
When we came, we did like some with the rookies.
It's like the 12 tour, I think it was. Yeah.
So that was my first time.
You good on the water? You get seasick?
Not really, but I ain't no fan of it.
I'm with you. I don't mess with it. I don't mess with it.
We talked about something that you're missing, which is obviously soul food. I can understand. But what's something that you kind of like about being in the Northwest? What's something that maybe is newer where you were like, okay, like I can get behind this?
Definitely the scenery. I ain't never been this close to mountains, so every time I saw a mountain, it was in the far off. So just being this close to them is kind of crazy to me.
I remember driving down 405 my first time out here.
Yeah.
And I'm from Cali, and we don't have the trees like that. Right. And I just be driving, staring at the trees.
That's
like,
how I would.
man, this is crazy out here, man. So now it's about the weather's about to change, man. I hope you got some jackets, you know.
Get some.
Yeah, you got to get ready for this because
You gotta
it's about to
stock
turn
up.
on you real quick.
But you're going to get used to playing in this weather, which is an advantage in the playoffs.
Right.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot of guys from the South hate playing in the cold. I'm from West Coast like Bump, and I hated playing in the heat. You handle that perfectly fine,
Yeah,
right?
we love playing the heat.
You just get used to it.
Yes, sir. Most
I can't imagine that because it
Like
just
it's
drains
an
you.
advantage for us. So just like the cold, the advantage for y'all,
Yeah.
the heat is an advantage for us.
Well,
Yeah.
pretty soon, Cam, you're going to be able to play anywhere.
That's right.
So you're going to have
That's
this in the bag. He is rookie Cam Young, getting off to a fun start here in Seattle. Cam, thank you so much for taking the time. Where can people? Do you have a Twitter account?
I have one, but I'm not sure what my Twitter handle
Okay, I was going to tell people to tweet restaurants at you, but maybe
Good-
they can find
good
you on
man.
Instagram or
Good
something.
man.
He's
Yeah,
locked
that's a
in.
good way to
You don't
go.
need to
You know
be
what?
on
He's like, I read one thing. It's the playbook. That's all I read. He is
There you
Cam
go.
Young. Don't go anywhere. You guys are going to hear from Gino next.